I'm now going to look at the analysis of the fire hydrants. We will look at the placement of the fire hydrants a little bit later in this WebEx in more detail, so let's just quickly concentrate more on the analysis of them. So if we just zoom out, I'm just going to put 2 hydrants on this line along here. So the first step would be to go to your settings and go to your hydrant defaults. This is to enable to know which hydrants you're going to be placing when you put them into the drawing graphically. So you can choose your fire risk category, that is the high risk, moderate and 3 types of low risk. You can also choose your nominal diameter of your fire hydrants and the height above the natural ground if it is sticking out of the ground. You can also choose your fire risk categories again, which we've covered a little bit earlier, and I'm going to use the low risk to start off with, where the simultaneous active hydrants is 1 at a time, and then afterwards we can look at the high risk where we're having all of the hydrants within the radius of 270 meters on at the same time. So I'll go to close and I'm going to change this to low risk and we can press OK. I can then go to graphical and I can go to draw hydrant. And here you can see the radius, which I'm going to explain a little bit later when we do talk about the placement of the hydrants. So I'm just going to place 1 hydrant over here. It's indicated the position is less than 1 meter from node 6. It's going to place the hydrant on the existing node. I'll say OK. And I'm going to place a hydrant on this corner over here. With those 2, I'm going to press the escape key and I'm going to run the fire flow analysis so we can have a look at the results. We go to analyze and we go fire flow analysis. We can then press start and check our messages. We don't have any issues and we can press close. You can see from this table here, or this figure here, that the flow rate is increased. You can also see that you've got your fire flow hydrant 1, hydrant 2, because they have the same flow rates. It's going to be the same result on the incoming pipe to the network, and you've got your summary. If we go to have a look at these results, let's quickly go over to our catalogs and we'll look at the fire risk categories. You can see that the minimum flow rate per hydrant, it was 900 liters per minute, but we also had 900 plus we have the peak flow at the highest point of the day. So let's just quickly recap on that. If we go to our graph and we can see that at 3:15, 3:15 in the afternoon we've got our peak flow. So we just go to our latest time simulation, 3:15. Close that, so you got the 900 plus the 600 gives you the 1500. I'm going to change these over to the high risk category so we can have a look at selecting them. Sometimes you find it's not able to select because the node itself is getting in the way. If we go to the properties, you can see it's connecting on the water node. I find the easiest is just to go to your water node and just to make that not selectable for the meantime, and then I'm able to then select the hydrant itself. You can see I've got it on category low risk group 1, and I'll just change it over to the high risk. I'll just move over to the next hydrant and change that. Don't worry about the size of the diameters, that's all coming in the part where we're going to talk about the placing and spacing of the hydrants itself. Okay, I have them on high risk now, and I'm going to rerun the fire risk analysis. So we'll go over to Analyze, Fire Flow Analysis, and we'll press Start. We'll check for messages. We don't have any warnings at this stage, and we can then zoom in to our hydrants. If we go to our tools catalogs and fire risk categories, we'll see that we need for the high risk 1,500 liters per minute. And remember that these hydrants are on, because they're high risk, any hydrants within a radius of 270 will be switched on at the same time, which means that we have the 1,500 for each hydrant, plus we've got the peak flow, which was 603.4 liters per minute. I always keep an eye on the flows on the pipes rather than anywhere else when running the fire flow analysis. I'm looking at pipe capacities, probably looking at velocities through the pipe as well. You can't have that to be too fast. You might want to increase the pipe size to cater for the fire flows. One other place to have a look at is if you go to results and we look at the hydrants. Here you can see the hydrants ID. We haven't given them names. We've got the elevation, diameters, the category, and then the flow here is in liters per second, and then we've also got the residual head. Just zoom out a bit, and we need to delete these hydrants and just start afresh. I'm also going to see the whole site. I'll close these two dialogues for now, and we can probably right click over here and make our node selectable again.